good. It's like, do you really want Knight on Smolder? Even when Smolder is insane, but you want him on something with agency. You want him on something where he can control it. You see the players coming out now. That's what I want to see from BLG. Default to comfort, play your game.
Hey, you get to walk past your own name there if you're T1 from last year. Zale must give him some confidence.
I mean, it's engraved on the trophy. They can see it. You just have to reach out and grab it. And we'll see if T1 can pull it off on the red side. BLG earned themselves that blue side advantage by beating them on red. That is the edge that they have going into this all-important Game 5.
And if you look at the games thus far, I actually think BLG have looked better. It's obviously been close. The games have been really one-sided, which makes it hard. But like this punch back that we saw in topside for BLG, for example, I think spells a lot of hope. But the real question is, how are they going to be able to deal with the pressure of being in that game number 5? And I gotta say, I think it's a toss-up at this point.
It is.
All 10 players walking in look completely unfazed. Neither side seems nervous at all.
Absolutely, and that's what we want to see. And if you feel like it is building up to a crescendo, I hope so as well. We heard some of the music pieces, but one was too loud for the one orchestra and the other was too loud for the other. I want to see them synergize and fight it out till the very, very end. It is only one game that stands between us and knowing who our 2024 world champion is. Will it be Faker with his 5th or Knight with his 1st?
It's a good question, Shox, and I don't think any of us here at the caster desk have an answer that will please you too much. However, I can promise you the 10 players in the middle of this arena full of people in the middle of London are ready to provide that answer. Faker rebooting, locking in, preparing himself for another Game 5 on the world stage. It has only happened 4 times in finals across the history of Worlds, and Faker has been in 3 of those. He has lost 1 to DRX, he has won 1 all the way back in, 1-1 against Samsung Galaxy, in 2016. And now we'll see if he can win against BLG, who are on the blue side. Varus, their first ban.
So last time that BLG were on blue side, they did the Varus, Ashe, and Skarner bans. And T1, they did their duty in doing the Aurora and Yone bans, and threw in the Nico as well, as both Knight and Faker are very good on that champion, as well as on and Keria, this flex pick. But I'm really curious, will they still ban the Nico once again?
I think it's Kalista. I think they'll take it away. I think it's proven to be too strong in this series, and I don't think they're going to allow it to go through.
Honestly, I agree with you. I just think that the Kalista is just such a powerful bot.
We had the same conversation where it's a question of, do you trade Kalista for Jax? And then T1 couldn't find much success from the Jax pick, and BLG really made the Kalista work for them. Now they have to make the decision. The Kalista will be banned, but that does mean that in Game 5, Bin is going to get his Jax, and without hesitation, he immediately locks it in.
All right, are we going to get the Zeus Gragas, the Zeus Gnar, perhaps?
I mean, you have to trust in Zeus. He's shown that his Gragas is an effective answer into the Jax. I would call it an old school counter pick, but it's the one that Zeus has been leveraging throughout this World Championship. I don't think they need to lock it in now. They could grab themselves the Vi if they wanted to, perhaps even the Renata for Keria once more. They're hovering it. And
Locked in straight away. Bin lays down the gauntlet, and Zeus immediately answers. Bin has only lost 3 times on his Jax this year. Twice against T1, once against Genji. Now we'll see if Zeus can stand in his way once again. T1 looking towards perhaps a Galio in the mid lane here for Faker. And it's going to be locked in as well, so they have a very tanky front line already. Gragas obviously has a big sustained tank, the Galio as well, which is pretty much unkillable unless you can manage to get ahead of him.
I'm honestly surprised to see the Galio locked in this early for T1, rather than securing something like the Xayah Rakan for themselves. They've chosen to go for it, maybe in anticipation of BLG potentially going for the Silas, and knowing that the Galio can be an effective answer into it. Elk gonna get himself his Kai'Sa.
Ooh, we have to think they're going to build more on top of this dive then. for BLG. Yes, some strong side laners plus some dive.
It's just comfort. BLG are just saying, how comfortable can we be?
Oh my goodness.
Jax, we'll give Elk Kaiser, we'll give Knight Ahri. That is the epitome of what BLG like.
How many legendary player champion combos are we going to get in a deciding Game 5 of World Finals? Knight on his Ahri, Bin on his Jax. Those very well, if they win, would be their skins.
I mean, Knight, he's world famous for his Ahri. This World Championship hasn't had the best win rate for him, but you cannot afford to underestimate it. The Xayah going to be locked in for T1. You imagine that Rakan is going to rise in priority. BLG likely looking to ban that one away.
100% agree with you there. It just works too well with the T1 comp. Let's see. What will the bans towards BLG be here for T1 though, as we try and whittle down? I mean, possible jungle, possible jungle takeaways here for Shun.
I mean, if BLG continue down their comfort route, do you just get rid of something like the Rakan as well? Obviously, T1 kind of want the Rakan themselves, so BLG will remove it. In the end, no one's getting Rakan.
I'm thinking like the Vi is just such a no-brainer pairing with the Ahri as well.
True.
But they do leave the Vi up there for Shun to take.
The Kindred ban is like, okay, we can see how much comfort you're drafting. We're not going to allow that.
Man, but Vi, I would even prefer a Vi over a Kindred if we're running Ahri, plus we have lots of dive on our side too. The Renata, a no-brainer as well. Follow up to the Rakan ban there. Take away those 2 primo picks for Keria. Too good against dive.
I'm wondering if they put Oner on something a little more carry-orientated. Was thinking maybe Viego, but I don't love it. I feel like Vi does make the most sense. The Poppy into the Jax. In terms of damage, though,
but it's so good at shutting down all of these carries that BLG are already showing.
It's also a flex pick. You can also put it into the support position so they can wait to see what BLG draft and then decide after that. Because you're 100% right, Kobe. Poppy and its ability to mitigate the dashes on the side of BLG is a very powerful pick for sure.
Ooh.
What's it going to be, Shen?
Looking towards the Jarvan. Wait here with bated breath. It's locked in. Aggression, aggression, aggression. Dive, dive, dive from BLG.
It actually makes more sense. I was previously talking about Vi, but the Jarvan ultimate is better versus Xayah than the Vi ultimate is. So much better there. So really, really intelligent move.
On, likely deferring to another one of his comforts, the cheeky hover. Showcasing some confidence there.
There's the Rell. I will say Poppy is really nice into this entire BLG lineup. The question is now, is the Poppy going to support? Will Keria be piloting it, or will Oner be the ones with his hands on it? It's synonymous with Oner to me. He has such a great record on this champ that my expectations are Keria is looking through his support pool right now. Wondering where they go, but it seems like perhaps T1 want to flex it.
I mean, we talked about the damage, and I was a little bit worried putting all that damage responsibility onto Gumayusi. By bringing in the Xin Zhao, it does increase the amount of damage that they have. And we think about mid-jungles, it was kind of the story coming into the series about how Knight and Shun have been working exceptionally well throughout the bracket stage and finding advantages for BLG, and have really been playmakers when it came to the team fight. And Faker and Oner, a core part of the success of what makes T1 so good. Now, here in this game, those mid-jungle synergies are going to be crucial, as I'm expecting standard lanes. It's Zeus' Gragas versus Bin's Jax in the top side. Faker's Galio, a tried and true throughout his legacy, versus Knight, a player that is looking to make his name on World's history with his signature champion. We couldn't have asked for a more exciting draft here in Game 5.
100% I agree. Already just with the draft, I think that this is the most exciting game of the entire series from what we've seen. Both of them have capabilities of fighting those critical, important top-side fights around the grubs early on into the game. Xin Zhao plus Galio, such a good combo. The Jarvan plus the Ahri, also such a good combo. And we get Bin's legendary Jax versus Zeus legendary, I would say, Gragas at this point. He is 23-4 on the Gragas all-time. Impressive stats, to say the least.
One last time we go to Summoner's Rift. One last time we see the defending champions battle against the first seed from the LPL. One more time we see these titans on the Rift challenge each other. One more time we see the weight of expectation so great on these two teams' shoulders. One more time.
And there's so much on the line for both sides. BLG getting some revenge for last year's World Championship as T1 made their way through every single LPL team. T1 looking to raise their 5th trophy. LPL and BLG looking to hoist the Summoners Cup. So much on the line, and a single game will decide it all. A standard line of scrimmage to start off the game. I keep my eyes on pathing up towards the top side. A lane swap possibility seems very real. We were optimistic, we were hopeful for Bin versus Zeus, but it looks like we're going to be denied.
Yeah, looks like we are. The ward goes down in defense for T1. Sweeper comes out immediately, though, for BLG as they move in for that lane swap. Now we got to track, are they going to try and soak experience this time around for their level 2s to defend against these dives? Looks like Zeus just immediately going right down, and we'll head on through that mid lane once again.
Oner starting on his wolves right now. Keria spotting Bin out. Bin was trying to get to the wave to try and soak some of that XP, but couldn't get in range. Zeus has been able to get a little bit of XP out of mid as Knight is just catching that wave that Faker and Zeus will push forward. It's going to be a split map. Bin goes in with the counter-strike here. Tries to get into range for some of those minions dying. He didn't get any XP.
Yeah, look at that. It's that melee right there that was one auto away. He does soak a little bit now, though. I mean, every little bit. We're on pins and needles because of soaking experience and lane swaps. It's every little bit that top laners can get.
Note that Zeus grabbed XP in the mid wave and is now making a way towards top. On has pathed towards bot, preparing for the potential dive, knowing that the split map has come through. Zeus going to take a bit of damage, a lot of damage from Elk, but he's going to tick over to level 2, and he should be fine now on the top side.
And they should be able to defend this dive. On was able to soak his level 2 before heading down. There's so much CC with a Rell plus Jax. I think that
Elk's already swapping as well. So Bin's going to get level 2 here. Go to farm this experience underneath the tower. On there as well. Knight gets the charm onto Faker. Has to flash the Justice Punch. Faker punching in the opposite direction to get that little bit of an extension on that E.
And it might seem weird that he would do that, but it's because he knows that Oner is on the bottom side of the map, and he hasn't showcased on the bot lane dive, meaning that he's in the jungle, and the possibility of him showing up mid is very real. Knight showcasing that respect, doesn't want to give over first blood. He's getting pushed underneath this tower, but his farm is doing just fine as Faker on the Galio continues his pressure in mid.
Meanwhile, once they do teleport Bin back to that top side, he should be able to soak up his level 3 as Zeus already pushed the wave. Zeus is going to get the first move, but Faker under attack.
Has no flash, Justice Punch gets hit, there's the charm as well, and Faker might fall first in the finals of the finals. Knight gets the kill, BLG find first blood.
The Jarvan Ahri strikes first blood here into, wait a second.
Elk has flash, has cleanse. Keria looking for that flank position. Onto it to use the shadowing striking. Knight goes down and Elk flashes. You can see Keria trying to bait the early flash. They're on just able to escape to the relative safety of the other side of that wall.
Another game, another BLG first blood. Finding it onto Faker, crucial. Especially given that Knight did have to expend his flash earlier, but a good response from T1 as they lay in wait in the bot brush, ready to try and trap Elk. They couldn't convert it into a kill, but they do get his summoner spawn. Look at this bot wave. It is very awkward, slowly pushing towards the bot lane of T1. They're going to require Jun to shadow in the lane to help them get that push out.
Exactly, he has to come all the way down here because Keria and Guma are doing such a good job just holding it. Meanwhile, topside, easy trading up there. The Jax into Gragas matchup is so much denial there for the Gragas. The phase rush for Zeus, easily able to hold them off. But here comes Xin, as you mentioned, came to shadow, make sure that they can move up to the wave.
Maybe going in, looking for the damage onto Zeus there. Relatively even top lane after obviously the first few levels were spent on opposite sides of the map. Very tiny gold lead for BLG. Faker again with a good Justice Punch to dodge away from the charm in mid.
Xin hovering around.
Yeah, it really cost Faker last time. Giving up that first blood, no flash on Faker. Pretty good movement so far from Xin, doing so much for his lanes, you know? Going towards Knight to make sure they can get their first blood, going towards bottom lane, make sure their wave is in a good state.
So you have to do on the Jarvan, right? It is a very gank-orientated jungler.
It does cost him in CS though, so this is something you're gonna have to keep track of. Just remember that Xin did a lot for his lanes. Now he's gonna try and catch back up though and see if he can full clear the rest of his jungle.
And, you know, you can sit there and go, oh, it's a shame that T1 didn't get that kill in the bot lane 2v2, but they still benefited massively. You look at the AD carry difference, and because of the farm that was denied from Elk and the wave that Gumayusi was able to catch, he finds himself with about a 200 gold lead, and now he paths back up towards top. T1 have done this consistently, ready for the grub spawn. Faker ticking over to level 6 very soon. Nice trade onto Keria. It's going to make this contest of the grubs very difficult for T1, but Oner has found an angle onto Bin.
And has the flash here. Oner dash forward with that audacious charge. Hits him with the Wind Becomes Lightning. There is the counter strike out from Bin. Oner happy enough to eat that. You can see the TP coming in from Zeus as well as T1 are bringing more members up towards the top side. Faker has the hero's entrance to come in from mid. On looks for the engage. The flash away is T1 disengaged for the moment. Oner jumping back in. There's the hero's entrance. Keria gets the slam into the wall as On almost falls. He gets punched by Faker. And now Bin and Xin have to escape, but Zeus does not want to let them get away. The explosive cast knocks them back in the end. T1 will win the fight.
In a series that has been so focused on grubs, in the game number 5, all 10 players show up, and it is T1 who get Oner's Poppy Slam into the wall on. They get the kill, they get the grubs, and they immediately get turret plate money.
T1, even though they conceded first blood, they set up for the grubs extremely well, and BLG got caught off guard.
You feel that, Vedius? That is a wave of T1 fans.
We look back at the replay. Oner walking into darkness, but he knows he has the support on. Not quite connecting on the stun. It could have been crucial, especially with Knight right there for the follow-up. The Galio ulti comes in, the connection into the wall, and then Faker securing that first kill.
Yeah, and it's Keria Poppy this time around, of course. He's the one who got it, and the grub secured. T1 with the early game lead secured. The reason we're so focused on that is because you can balloon these gold leads so quickly, but Faker under attack!
Does have the flash, will punch forward. Justice Punch coming out. On misses the crash down. The charm connects though, and the chase continues as Xin dives forward. Faker save the flash, and in the end will use it to dash out of Xun's engage.
I can't believe in a 4 versus 1 he's still able to get out. The charm doesn't quite connect. Knight though very healthy, able to get the push, means that BLG should be able to secure the first dragon of the game. They haven't actually set their sights on it. No TP available for Faker. I am a little bit surprised. The bot push is going to come through for Gumayusi, who has sticked over to level 6. BLG right now, resets come through. Elk making his way back towards bot now.
More turret plate money, more demolished procs, Void grub passive.
See just the pressure that Faker's absorbing in the mid lane. T1 now using that to garner a 1.7k gold lead. Gumayushi's been picking up plate after plate. Oner now looking towards this bot side. Elk yet to hit the level 6, still half a level of XP away. Elk has to run, supercharges his way back in the lane.
I mean, the Xayah is just so far ahead here. 2 levels for Guma over him, not to mention all the extra gold, the biggest gold lead holder on the team. So much to know.
Oh, Keria goes in, and down goes On. Keria turns him up. And the question is, will Elk stay around? Because he's still not at that level 6.
I mean, a masterful performance from Keria in the top lane grub fight, along with this play in bot. He is just finding those angles for Poppy to connect into the wall. T1 find another kill, extend their gold lead to 2k, and they'll secure the first dragon of the game.
And it is a very tall task here for BLG to get Elk back into this game. Xayah is so weak early on and being denied so much early into this game. It's going to be very hard for BLG to get their dive comp really online and get him scaling up into being a threat. Very far in the future, you're going to have to look before Elk is really a danger.
Knight felt the pressure of this position last year on JDG in the semifinals. It was T1 that denied JDG the Golden Road. Hoping to get revenge. He is one of the players that we will be keeping our eyes on as this game continues. His Ahri has been able to turn around some incredibly difficult games before. The pick potential is real, but right now Guma is just
going for it.
Oh,
Keria with a good set pass person. TP coming in from BLG as they look
there he comes
to make the play. Spear rush forward by Knight, holding the charm. Doesn't get stunned. The charm hits Keria. Flash forward with the counter strike. Keria falls first as Gumayusi brings the feathers back and almost takes down Oner. Oner caught underneath his own tower, but he will fall even in the cataclysm. BLG find 2. Guma's walking away wounded.
And just as we talk about him, he makes the play happen. 3 kills now for Knight. A fantastic TP to bring BLG back.
Speak his name and you will invoke the magic of Knight's Ahri. That just fully funded Malignance and the shoes upgrade. Lucidity acquired. That ultimate cooldown now for Knight will be so low. T1 though, looking back at the Grubs, they want to get at least 4 for their Void Might spawn. Despite a really good play there from BLG.
I mean, yeah. The bot tower falling means that there's a huge wave as well. Knight forced to catch it, doesn't have the TP. Bin and Knight committing all of their summoner spells to make this play happening. The idea of shutting Gumayusi down is so important because of how much of a threat he is. Bin gets a nice flash, 2-person stun off, and they give the initial kill over to Knight. On's then able to disengage while Gumayusi does get away. Knight's able to secure the 2nd kill as well. The kills in favor of BLG, but the gold still in the hands of T1.
So much pressure on the shoulders of these BLG players, and now even more so onto that of Knight, a player that is so well renowned in the LPL here, really looking to take that last step and acquire his first world championship. He is the richest player in the game on Ahri, such a playmaker. Can he do it?
That's the question that everyone asks themselves in moments like this as well. For BLG, it would be the first time they have won a world championship. For T1, it would be their 5th. Faker so often leads the charge. Now it's Knight who has to take the charge into his own hands. Keria looking at the sun into the wall, the TP coming in behind as T1 begin to draw out their battle plans. Faker looking for that flank, BLG disengage. T1 can't quite find the fight that they were looking for right now.
Faker doesn't quite realize he's sitting on a ward, but chooses not to overcommit to the play. TP's in ready for the action to kick off, but nothing too chaotic just yet. 1:15 until the next Rift Herald spawns. The bot lane has been completely abandoned. As T1 looking to now provide support for Zeus. See if he can push that wave underneath the tower. Keeping my eyes on the minimap. On has gone to reset, so it's BLG that'll be forced to concede for the time being. As T1 have numbers on the map, but On is quickly making his way towards top. Elk catching that wave in mid is crucial for him as he tries to close that gold gap between the 280 carries.
Galio ult is available here. Remember, for Faker, you have to be careful as BLG. T1 have that safety net.
Wave clear from Knight, though, coming through with the Malignance completed and level 9. The Q is going to be doing enough damage to help clear out those waves, but Gumayusi not slowing down, going to catch another wave as the resets now come through from T1. Dragon spawning in 55, and the Herald in 25.
And again, the reason we're focusing so much on Knight, him getting all of this gold, is because Elk has been put so far behind in this game. It's going to be a while before there is another really big carry threat on the BLG side, and so Knight is their big threat of getting kills. Bin, of course, on the side lane is going to look to farm up and scale up some more money on the Jax, but that as well might take a while.
And typically, Xayah is a difficult AD carry to kill. Thanks to the feathers, thanks to the ultimate, but with a Poppy and a Gragas and a Xin Zhao and a Galio, it's going to be even harder, and it becomes that question, as you highlighted in Draft, Kobe, can the Jarvan actually lock the Xayah down? The flash is about to come off cooldown for Gumayusi. Both neutral objectives are alive. It's T1 that set their sights on the Herald, and they're going to be the ones to start this objective off.
Now they will begin it. They have the vision control around there as well. You can see Knight pushing in the bottom side, does have the TP. He's also the only gold lead on his team right now.
A few more seconds until Knight's TP is available. It looks like that they are just going to concede it as the bot side of the map becomes BLG's priority. Tier 1 going to be happy to secure the Herald and the top tier 1 as well. No one could really gain purchase on the mid wave as it's just cleared out by Elk and Zeus. But Tier 1 do have a tempo advantage here, and they're looking to keep the pressure on top side.
Top side objectives have been turned so quickly into tower gold during this series. They're looking to do it again.
Knight's still working his way through that bot side tier 1. Will now take it, then TPs to try and save the tier 2 in the top side. Rifthold was not put down by T1. They just disengage as soon as they see that teleport used, that investment from BLG. They'll happily take it. Zeus is catching the wave in the bottom lane, so T1 not losing any gold on the map either.
Yeah, BLG feeling like they need to invest Knight's teleport to deny that big influx of gold from one of those side lane secondary turrets to try and stop that snowball that has been so prevalent. Allows them to push right back out here for Bin, as well as Elk taking care of the wave in mid too. Some critical income for them.
One of the things we were very excited about coming into this game was Bin versus Zeus, but Tier 1 have actually put Gumayusi versus Zeus for the vast majority of this game. And remember that given that Elk has been so far behind, he's been either playing into the Galio or he's been playing into the Gragas. And Zeus has quietly built up a very healthy lead for himself. Just a few moments ago, he was about 1k gold ahead. Now that he's back out onto the map, he's spent that gold. And Bin yet to actually complete his first item. Let's see if this back will secure it for him. And there it is. So now the Trinity Force finished for Bin. He's going to feel a lot more confident as we get closer to these mid-game fights.
Still about 1,000 gold lead for T1. A Drake apiece, Hex Tech to T1, Infernal to BLG. The Grub's advantage as well with that Rift held in pocket means that T1 do have the pressure advantage on the map. If they want to push in like this, they'll take a tier 2 in the top side with 3 towers to 1 in their favor.
Yeah, I think BLG here, just keep Elk in mid lane here where it's nice and safe with your outer tower still up. Farm up with the static shiv on the Kaisa. Keep on farming till he can at least get his second item here. And then they can try and look to actually contest. Little cheeky steal away attempt here on the blue. Should be good.
You can feel the tension. 3-2 in kills. 2k the gold lead for Tier 1 after securing that top Tier 2. The fact that Elk still finds himself very far behind is definitely a point of concern, but in terms of XP, he's been able to accelerate, actually get ahead of Guma, because T1 have been playing so much around their AD carry to put pressure on the map. Base is going to be interrupted there by Keria, but BLG quite happy to play this game slowly for now. They're not in any real risk. The Baron is still 2.5 minutes away. What's crucial is that they get items on Elk and that he can have impact in these later fights.
Put pretty drastically behind in the early game. So the gold, it fluctuates between about 1.5 to 2k between the two teams, which BLG will be happy enough with considering how the early game went. Faker lying in wait here to see if Knight oversteps. Knight just wants to push out the wave and then get himself back to base. Bin pulling the wave across a little bit here, but with the counter strike he will just start to push this one towards T1 again with 2 minutes on the Baron and 2 minutes on the Cloud Drake. Expectation is everything will calm down over these next 2 minutes until we start to see that vision play begin to be established for the neutral objectives.
Yeah, BLG doing their best to clear out the deep vision that was left behind by T1. Whenever you're retaking the opposite side of the map, you have to be so careful clearing out those wards, because they are good at getting off these very quick flank plays. Herald used for that prio mid. Charge won't be enough to take the whole tower, just a nice little chunk there, soften it up.
Bin does have a tower in that top lane that he can start to pressure towards. You can see Zeus working his way up towards that, but I think Bin with enough time should be able to just chunk that tower down. It will be BLG's second of the game. Zeus there to respond. Shen pathing towards top as well. The pressure perhaps towards them, but it's this game of this ebb and flow where Faker pushes out bot, he then goes into the fog of war, Knight has to answer, so BLG realize, well, we can't force a play because Faker's always going to be able to respond first. Knight answers the bottom side, then TP's back in, so now BLG have the impetus to put a bit of pressure back down onto the map.
I mean, Faker recognized the TP came out of mid, immediately pings back towards bot, wants to push out another wave, says someone has to come and catch this. It's Bin that's going to be forced to go back to base to head towards bot because he's the one that has his TP available. They're going to send Knight now over to the top side of the map, but the problem is you've now got your TP-less mid laner on the top side with Dragon spawning in 30 seconds. Yeah. So with the push that they've been able to get on bot, Faker gets a quick base off and he's already back out onto the map. T1 are going to have set up for this Dragon, and I feel like BLG's just going to force to concede it.
Yeah, BLG, they need to open up the map more so they can start to make use of some split pushing and some Kaisa ultimate follow-ups. And so they do have everybody hovering on top side. They were thinking about trying to finish off that outer tower. They don't want to overextend too early for it, though.
I think that they should commit to it, though. T1's obvious play next should be towards the Dragon. They've set up good vision towards it, and Knight knows that he doesn't have TP and he's on the top side of the map. They will spot out Faker as Bin and Zeus go back and forth on trades, but you're seeing how effective this Gragas is.
Cosmic Drive Thimblewind is doing a lot of work here. They get the knockback as well. Keria with the steadfast presence position is here to try and help out his top laner. That Thimblewind and Cosmic Drive combination is causing a lot of headache for Bin.
That and the phase rush, some very useful tools for Gragas to always keep you at arm's length or belly's length in his case. Meanwhile, Knights did end up finishing off that outer tower, that extra gold that they wanted in payment for the Dragon. So they still got a bit of what they wanted. BLG kind of giving up the minimum amount here in order to still get some trade back.
Ultimately, yeah, I think it's the best trade for them rather than try and force the fight around the Dragon at this point in the game, especially when you know that Elk still hasn't even completed his second item. Meanwhile, Gumayusi, Infinity Edge. Such a powerful item spike for the Xayah.
Elk just finishes his Ginsu's, as you say that statement, Betty. There is 2 items on the Kai'Sa, but she scales up so well as the game goes on. When they get towards the time when that W is just artillery more than anything else.
And there's so many things that he has to consider when he's going in for it. You know, he's playing against, like you said, the Poppy plus Galio plus Xin Zhao and even Gragas. So BLG definitely going to be looking to control some vision first so that actually they can be the ones to try and set up some picks.
Now, in Game 4, you said with confidence that you don't expect the game to end in 27 minutes. I feel like this game isn't going to end in 27 minutes. With how tense it's been so far, with clear win conditions laid out for both sides, the 4th Dragon of the game is where I expect a lot of action to be happening. In the meantime, both teams are prioritizing farming, looking for outer objectives, and ideally, if either one of them could break open that mid tower, that would be great. But in terms of the siege, I think that it's not easy for either side, given the amount of wave clear that they do have. But that point of tension continues to build up as both of these teams fight for that crucial edge to help determine who will be the 2024 World Champ.
For Elk, for On, for Shun, for Knight, it's their first time here in a Worlds final. Knight has fallen short a couple of times in the past for T1. Obviously, they were here last year. They've been here 3 years in a row. Weren't able to win it in 2022, but in 23 they dominated Weibo. They dominated the LPL. And just take down 4 teams in that year, and now 3 teams in that year. Now alongside that top esports, looking to add BLG as a name to that list, but BLG have not lost a best of 5 versus T1. They just haven't played them at Worlds before, and here we sit 23 minutes in on a knife edge between these 2 titans.
Reminder how close BLG was without Knight. The whole idea behind bringing Knight into this roster was to help push them over the edge, to give them that last bit of power needed to get them to where they are today. They've ultimately built this roster to get to this point against, as Azael said on the desk, possibly the greatest roster that League has ever seen in history with their continued international dominance.
Meanwhile, the T1 roster here. Legends already with making 3 World Finals in a row, looking to win 2 back-to-back. And we get the side lanes traded. Jax on bottom side, Galio on the top side. Mid lane waves traded back and forth as we just build and build to this crescendo of pressure in our final game of the year.
It's crazy that it's all come down to this. So many comfort picks on both sides. The Sunlit Sky now finished for Bin. 2 items finished for him. Junglers starved of gold a little bit, as we often see at the highest level. If they could secure that second item ahead of this crucial fight, that would be absolutely huge. Both now fighting for vision. Resets come through for Zeus. He's making his way back out onto the map. Has the arm guard, a crucial pickup, providing a little bit more durability and just time-wasting potential in the upcoming team fight. Dragon a minute away. We get ever closer to that crucial objective. Arm guard also finished for Knight. The bot wave pushed in. Elk not yet completed that Nash's Tooth, meaning he's not quite at the point of that consistent poke that we often see from the Kai'Sa.
He's almost there. Has the blasting wand, has an amp tome as well. Gumayusi on the other side, sitting on a Zeal alongside his IE in the Essence Reaver. It feels like one of those games where a single fight's going to decide it, you know? as soon as the team starts snowballing, it's a Drake into a Baron, into a few towers, into a gold explosion. And I think that's why we see both teams so tentative about making that play. Obviously, no neutrals really up apart from the Baron for them to fight over right now, but there's a lot of this bouncing waves back and forth without really finding purchase.
And the first step before T1 can go take this dragon is they have to secure vision on the Baron. Because of the Rage Blade being completed for Xayah, you can actually burn through Barons and neutral objectives very quickly. And so that's why we just saw these last like 30 seconds, 40 seconds of T1 really trying to make sure that they will have an early alert system if BLG try and do a cross-map play on them.
Bin ticking over to level 15. Zeus sticking around very deep in the bot lane because he's got full information as to where all 4 of the members of BLG are. Poke back and forth over the control wards, but the vision will be denied from T1.
Critical defense of their vision here from BLG.
But then T1 immediately fight back. They reclaim control over that space. Control ward still sitting in the inventory of Keria, but crucially, none left for BLG. I'm sure On would love to get a quick reset off, but I don't know if he's going to be given the time to do so. Pings coming down from the side of T1 of the bot side jungle.
Zeus finds On, Shadowing Strike going in, the crash down as well. Bin looking for the follow-up here onto Zeus, the hero's entrance, and On just oversteps. Gumayusi sends him back to the fountain, and now BLG have to play a 4v5 if they want to try and contest. I think their decision will be not to. They'll just back away, clear out their own jungle, but On went in on Zeus, and T1 immediately collapsed.
Again, T1, they're so confident, and we're like, they've got the Galio ult to back them up. Zeus is very tanky. They were not worried for a second during that pick. On definitely bit off way more than he could chew, and that is a 100% sacrifice of the dragon, of the objective. Critically, it is just putting T1 to that soul point and not breaking the game quite yet.
Gumayusi picking up the Phantom Dancer, immediately swapping it over for the Navori Flickr Blade. Help securing that kill, giving him a nice injection of gold. You can hear the support from T1 from the crowd. The BLG supporters ever present in the arena as well.
You have to believe that T1 are very confident in their team fight and their strong setup here.
I mean, why wouldn't you with how strong Gumayusi is?
And so that's why maybe you see BLG wanting to rush into some picks whenever they see anyone, because they do kind of feel that unspoken mounting pressure facing them.
You can feel as well, just kind of on the map, how T1 is slowly but surely beginning to gain more control. BLG feels like that they're being pushed back even further onto their side of the map. And T1 remaining calm. Of course, this game is far from over just yet. That deciding fight is yet to happen. All summoner spells are available for everyone on the Rift, TPs included. The next dragon still a ways away after T1 secured that mid-tier 1 from BLG. The Baron becomes a very scary point of contention for both sides.
How exciting is it that our entire year of professional League of Legends is going to be condensed down to presumably a big fight now to break open the entire series and determine the world champion.
It's just absurd, and for the players down there as well, that weight on your shoulders.
I'm nervous, and I'm not even playing.
It's just monumental. It's not just you, it's not just your team, it's your fans, it's your family, it's your region that have supported you through thick and thin. And
Oner, very close here.
Pressure on you, Shadowing Strike going wide. Shun tries to dash across the wall, but immediately he's locked up, goes in with the Cataclysm. Gumayusi pops the Feather Storm. Oner looking to re-engage onto On. Shun down to half HP. Bin gets onto the backline. Gumayusi cleanses away, but Bin has already put him in the dirt. Keria is next up. BLG find 2. T1 able to back away for the moment, but the TP behind by Bin as he looks for a little bit more.
Oh, they go back in!
Faker flashes in, and down goes Knight! Once again, when you need someone, when you need anyone to stand up and show just what this game's all about, it's Faker! He finds another T1 5-5, and alongside it, the Baron in their eyes!
The hero's entrance was true to its name as Faker in T1's dire moments descends from the sky, and T1 turned the fight in their favor.
The crown may be heavy, but it belongs to Faker, and they're gonna pick up the Baron. What a turnaround! BLG
turnaround.
had started out so well. They killed Gumayusi. They had them on the run, but the turn from T1 was better.
The flank that comes in from Bin to follow up the engage from Jun. And crucially, you're going to see a charm come through from Knight that forces Gumayusi's flash. You think that the combination between Knight and Bin is enough. Taking out Gumayusi should have been the key. So look, the ultimate comes in from Chun onto Gumayusi. He's going to ulti because he has no choice. He has to in this situation. And then the charm from Knight there forces the flash from Gumayusi. Bin sees the angle, so he flashes, sidesteps the knockback, and he's able to work with Elk to get the kill. And at this point, you think the fight is over.
Exactly. Then they're on the chase. Knight goes, he just barely doesn't have the range on his charm onto Oner, and they're teleporting for the pincer, but just as they're teleporting and Bin has to walk back to the fight, that's when T1 turned.
Such fantastic play and such confidence. The TP, the awareness from T1 to realize that that TP was a mistake and then to create the collapse to turn it in their favor. Unbelievable turnaround from T1.
Teleport, the 4-second channel time, and T1 strike. Wait a second, topside, Zeus under fire!
Zeus caught out, killer instinct in by Elk. BLG collapsing, 4 members strong, the heroes entry.
Oh, Zeus!
Faker joins the fight! Elk with the stopwatch, Faker in the middle of them all, and it seems like death may have arrived, and his name is Faker! He's here for your lives! The rest of T1 begin his collapse, Faker's gonna fall, as he pulls the stopwatch, manages to buy himself a second. Oner here to save his mid laner once again, and Faker still stands! He has ascended! He stands above it all! And he looks hungrily at that world's trophy!
The unkillable Demon King! Unkillable one more time!
Unbelievable once more! How does he keep doing it? I mean, with the Baron buff, 4 members dead. It's only Knight left to defend his base. His crumbling kingdom at the hands of T1. An inhibitor will fall, and T1 set their sights on the Nexus.
Knight goes in with the Spirit Rush, lands the charm as well. The first Nexus tower's fallen, and T1 are just looking for the prize. They're hungry for it. T1 are the past, the present, and the future. A new era, the same empire. T1 are your 2024 World Champions.
Three World Finals in a row for this roster. 2 of them victories, Vedius. Crazy accomplishments from this entire T1 roster.
And just the way that that game ended, for Faker to make the plays that he did, he is the GOAT for a reason. And this will be his 5th World Championship title. We are witnessing such a legendary resurgence from T1. A new era for T1 and an incredible performance.
Please keep that roster together again. That right there is a new T1 dynasty. Heartbreaking for BLG to be so close.
In the end, as Faker said it best, you've got to prove it. That's where you play. When you face T1, when you face the best in the world, the defending champs, you've got to prove it. And today it was T1 that proved it. A trophy ceremony presented by Mercedes-Benz. They will hoist the Summoners Cup. I can't think of 5 players that deserve it more.
From 4th seed in the LCK, 1 game away from not even qualifying to the World Championship, to making it all the way to the final, a full 5-game banger. They will lift the Summoners Cup once more.
Oh, those steps must feel so sweet. A 5-game banger, as you say, Betty. T1 take to the main stage, and they deserve every accolade that is bandied towards them. It's back-to-back. London, Europe, The world, give it up. It's T1, your 2024 world champions once more.
Baker said, "This one's for you."
I think it's a little bit for them as well.
A little bit. Just unbelievable. Truly unbelievable. An incredible run. T1 have done it once again. BLG were an incredible rival and opponent, and they pushed them to the very brink. But what a performance. T1's 5th World Championship, and they will raise that cup once more.
Zeus, Oner, Faker, Gumayusi, Keria. Remember the names, legends, all of them.
Gumayusi supporting Keria. He transcends league, he transcends esports. Faker is one of a kind, to say the least, as he raises that trophy for the 5th time. The team around him obviously deserve all the praise as well, but
I mean, I think it's fair to say the greatest roster in League of Legends history.
Yeah.
3 back-to-back World Finals appearances, won 2 out of the 3, and the one that they didn't win, it was a full 5 games. It's truly incredible what this roster has accomplished. Largely built through the academy system of T1 with the addition of Keria. Phenomenal stuff.
incredible stuff from them through all of Worlds. Let's take a look back at T1.
챔피언으로 참가했고 챔피언으로 떠날 계획입니다.
Summer continues to put axes into the back of Zeus. Han's now in the middle of the minions, doesn't have a ward to play. Zeus can open up and Zeus finds it.
D1 may have limped through summer, but this is Worlds, and they are here to stay.
T1 again managed to find a favorable fight, but Faker's not done! Faker! He gets the double! That was insane footwork from the Rakan! T1 refused to lose a best of 5 to the LPL, and they move on to the semifinals.
수비 선수 미래를 원한다면 증명하세요.
Under Faker the knock-up, and he's dead! And it's Gumayusi taking matters into his own hands. The spears go wide and the poppy goes down. And Gen G for the last 2 years have been the kings of Korea, but we know the world is T1's home ground.
The reigning world champions will return to defend their title versus BLG now.
Ladies and gentlemen and everyone else, it is our divine privilege to bring you the World's Finals.
It's just a bloody brilliant re-engage, isn't it, from T1?
As Faker is not of this earth, he finds the engage, he finds everything T1 were looking for.
T1 are the past, the present, and the future. A new era, the same empire.
London, please give it up for your reigning and continued world champions, T1!
We have Ji-sun here with us to help with the translations as we continue on. And also a quick note, Zeus will be joining us very, very shortly, but we do have Chris Greeley here to celebrate T1 as well, the global head of LoL Esports.
Thank you, Shox. What a series that was. Congratulations, T1, our 2024 World Champions. We are beyond excited to crown you as this year's champions and welcome you to the legacy of greatness.
2024 월드 챔피언십 우승을 다시 한번 정말 축하드립니다. 이 자리에서 함께 여러분들의 위대한 유산을 이루어내는 시간을 함께 보낼 수 있게 돼서 정말 큰 영광입니다.
Your journey throughout the season and the tournament was nothing short of incredible. It was a joy to watch you rise to the top and claim your victory. You have made your fans, all of these fans, and the LCK very proud.
올 한 해 T1의 여정, 그리고 이번 월즈에서 T1의 여정은 정말 경이로웠습니다. 이렇게 또 한 번 우승을 이뤄내면서 여기 계신 모든 팬분들, 시청하신 모든 팬분들, 그리고 LCK를 자랑스럽게 만들어주셨습니다.
To celebrate this outstanding achievement, you will each be awarded one of these beautiful championship rings, handcrafted and presented courtesy of Mercedes-Benz.
오늘의 월드 챔피언십 우승을 기념하기 위해 또 한 번 메르세데스 벤츠에서 특별히 제작하는 챔피언십 링도 수여받을 예정입니다.
I also want to take a moment to thank the City of London for being such gracious hosts to us. Yeah, that's right. Your hospitality has made this event unforgettable. And of course, a huge thanks to all of the fans who joined us here in person, as well as everyone watching from around the world. Your passion and excitement have made these worlds truly special, so thank you all. I'd like to invite Riot Games co-founders Mark Merrill and Brandon Beck, League of Legends executive producer Paul Beleza, and Riot Games CEO Dylan Jahada to share their congratulations as well. GG to your world champions, T1. I still love it. Yeah.
Oh.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
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 Congratulations. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Chris. Now it is, of course, time to hear from our winning team. We have gathered that perhaps the players don't have the perfect audio, but we will go along as we see and hope that they can understand us as we ask these questions. So let's fire off the first one. Faker, I have to go to you first. In 2013, you won your very first world title. We are now more than a decade later. How do you reflect on the journey that you have made over those years and that you can celebrate your 5th world title in League of Legends?
페이커 선수는 2013년도에 첫 월드 우승을 기록하셨는데요. 이렇게 10년의 세월이 지난 뒤에 다시 한번 월드를 우승하시면서 5번째 챔피언십을 얻어가게 됩니다. 지난 10년간의 본인의 여정을 되돌아보시면서 어떤 길을 걸어오셨다고 생각하시는지 이번 5번째 우승은 어떻게 기념하고 싶으신가요?
네, 또 이렇게 우승이라는 기회가 찾아와서 네, 우승을 할 수 있게 돼서 정말 너무 기쁘고 또 여러분들 앞에서 이렇게 우승할 수 있어서 너무 좋고요. 또 이제 이번 우승은 또 팬분들이 열심히 응원해 주셨기 때문에 있었던 것 같습니다.
I am very happy to be able to lift up the trophy in front of you guys, and this 5th title was possible thanks to all the support from my fans.
Keria, congratulations, and once again we saw how you react to these big moments, be it in the moments where you can't grind out the victory and in the moments where you can. Can you look back on these last 3 years and what you've done with this T1 roster and tell me about how proud you are at what you have achieved?
캐리아 선수 그리고 또 한 번 굉장히 주요한 순간마다 멋진 플레이를 보여주셨습니다. 지난 T1과 함께한 3년의 시간을 되돌아보면 이겼을 때도 있었고요. 졌을 때도 있는데요. 이제 오늘 우승과 함께 지난 세월을 되돌아봤을 때 팀원들과 어떤 멋진 길을 걸어왔다고 생각하시나요?
일단 T1에 오고 나서 좋은 팀원분들과 일단 땡큐 하고요. 그리고 일단 T1에 오고 나서 이제 많은 선수들 분들과 많은 이제 좋은 사람들이랑 계속 함께 하면서 많이 인간적으로도 그렇고 게임적으로도 그렇고 많이 배워가지고 이렇게 그 시간 동안 많이 배워서 이렇게 2연속으로 우승할 수 있었던 것 같아서 이제 너무 감사한 것 같습니다.
First of all, thank you for the chance, everyone. Thank you. Ever since I joined T1, I was surrounded by amazing people, and thanks to them, I was able to mature and grow so much as a player, but also as a person. And because of that, I was able to claim this back-to-back championship.
As a follow-up to Keria, in 2022, you said you wanted to win. In 2023, you said you really wanted to meet new genes. What was the motivation in 2024?
이제 22년도 결승에 진출하시고는 정말 우승하고 싶었다라고 하셨고 23년도 결승을 진출하고서는 뉴진스를 정말 만나고 싶었다라고 하셨는데 올해 결승은 어떤 게 가장 기대되셨나요?
일단 이번 결승은 좀 준비하는 과정에서 되게 후회 없고 열심히 했다고 자부해가지고 이제 지든 이기든 받아들일 수 있을 거라고 생각했던 것 같고, 네, 지든 이기든 받아들일 수 있을 거라 생각했고 이제 그래서 이겨서 너무 기쁨의 눈물을 흘렸던 것 같습니다.
Looking back at the journey we had throughout Worlds this year, I am extremely proud of the path that we were walking on. So I was thinking to myself, regardless of the outcome, I will be just really happy and proud of ourselves. And I am very grateful that I managed to win this back-to-back title. So I was in tears.
Koma, my sincere congratulations to you for yet another Worlds title. You who were there in the first iteration of the back-to-back championships way back in 2015 and 2016. How do you look back on this run with the team after you came back to coach T1 after 7 years?
꼬마 감독님도 정말 축하드립니다. 이 팀이 15년도, 16년도 연속 우승이라는 첫 대기록을 썼을 때도 팀과 함께 계셨는데요. 이번에 또 한 번의 연속 우승이라는 대기록을 썼을 때도 7년 만에 팀에 돌아와서 팀을 지도하고 계셨습니다. 어떤 의미를 갖고 있을까요?
그 7년이라는 시간을 이제 날짜로 조금 해보니까 정말 긴 시간이었더라고요. 정말 그동안 이제 우여곡절도 되게 많았었는데 이렇게 다시 T1으로 돌아오고 너무나 좋은 선수들과 너무 이제 스태프들 진짜 항상 뒤에서 아낌없이 지원해주는 뭐 프론트 분들 이런 분들을 다 만난 게 그냥 너무 운이 좋은 사람이라고 좀 생각하고 있어요. 그리고 마지막까지 항상 또 응원해주신 팬분들에게도 너무 감사드립니다. 그냥 감사한 마음밖에 없는 것 같습니다. 감사합니다.
I converted 7 years to days, and yes, it is a very long time. And yeah, I was very amazed that after such a long time, I had a lot of ups and downs, but I found my home back in T1, and I was able to find another huge success. I think it's because of the great players and talented players that we have, but also the staff members who supports us as much as possible. And thanks to them, I was able to, and the team was able to accomplish this greatness all together. So all I can say is thank you. I am very beyond grateful right now.
And I also have good news. I have heard that Zeus is able to join us right now. So if you please give him a warm welcome to the stage. Zeus, are you okay?
괜찮으신가요, 제우스 선수?
네, 좋아요. 좋아졌어요.
Very good, very good. Much better.
Much better. I'm glad you. When it comes to this game 5, Zeus, you counterpicked Bin's Jax, and I know that in your career there have been moments where people have counterpicked you and it didn't end up so well. So talk to me about the confidence you must have had going into this game 5 to secure T1 the championship.
오늘 정말 중요한 5세트에서 빈 선수의 잭스를 제우스 선수만의 카운터 픽으로 완벽하게 정복했습니다. 사실은 굉장히 중요한 순간마다 제우스 선수도 카운터 픽 당한 경우도 굉장히 많았는데요. 오늘 5세트 임하시면서는 어떤 자신감으로 경기 들어가셨나요?
Gumayusi's helping out.
일단 빈 선수가 잭스를 워낙 잘해서 견제를 많이 되기도 했지만 제가 그라가스를 하면은 제가 더 잘할 수 있고 그리고 충분히 카운터 칠 수 있다고 생각해서 자신 있게 뽑았던 것 같고요. 그리고 네 그런 것 같습니다.
I mean, Bin's Jax obviously is very, very strong. We were wary of it, but also I was pretty confident that with my counter pick, with our play, we'll be able to overcome this. So I was entering the rift with a lot of confidence.
Yes, we definitely saw it. Oner, you have been a pillar for the team this year when it wasn't always going so well for T1. How do you reflect on all the work you have done for T1 and the work you have contributed in this phase of your career to the 2 Worlds victories that T1 was able to book?
오너 선수 그리고 올 한 해 T1의 조금 흐름을 돌이켜 보자면 힘들 때도 오너 선수가 언제나 단단한 기둥처럼 팀을 밑받침해주는 역할을 많이 해오신 것 같습니다. 지난 2년간 T1의 2연속 월드 챔피언십 우승의 여정을 돌이켜 볼 때 오너 선수가 팀에 어떤 그런 승리에 기여를 했다고 하시는지 지난 여정을 어떻게 좀 감상하시나요?
네. 어쨌든 2년 동안 저희가 이렇게 우승을 했기 때문에 굉장히 많이 기여를 했다고 생각하고요. 그리고 또 이렇게 좋은 선수들과 함께 할 수 있는 거에 대해서 너무나 좋게 생각하고 있어서 그래서 좋은 결과까지 나오는 것 같고 또 그리고 저희가 힘들 때나 좋을 때나 언제나 저희 T1을 응원해 주시는 팬분들이 너무나 많다고 생각이 들어서 그 팬분들 덕분에 저희가 안 좋은 상황에도 불구하고 좀 잘할 수 있는 동기부여가 되는 것 같아서 팬분들한테 너무나 감사하다는 말씀 좀 드리고 싶습니다.
First of all, we won back-to-back championship, so that's a contribution there. Also, I mean, yeah, there were some hard times, but there were also some good times. But looking back at the entire journey, I can say for sure that I was surrounded by amazing players, so we were able to accomplish this greatness together. Also, sometimes there were moments where the hardships were getting us, but thanks to the support from the fans, we were able to overcome it, and you guys are my biggest motivations.
Tom, I would also like to ask you about this huge achievement and what you want to say about your group of players that have worked through, as we heard, these hardships and came out on top once again.
톰 코치님께 여쭤보고 싶습니다. 정말 올 한 해도 여러 가지 역경을 딛고 산전수전 다 같이 함께한 동고동락한 우리 선수분들께 해주고 싶은 말씀이 있을까요?
저희가 올해도 작년과 비슷하게 힘들었던 순간들이 많았다고 생각하는데 특히 서머에 되게 힘들었던 시절에 캐리아 선수가 형 플레이오프만 가자, 또 플레이오프 가니까 형 경주만 가자, 경주 가니까 뭐 결승 가자, 그렇게 계속 목표를 수정을 해 나가면서 저희가 좀 높은 곳을 바라봤기 때문에 이렇게 좋은 결실을 맺었다고 생각합니다.
I feel like it was pretty similar to last year. We were going through a lot of thick and thins, but especially this summer was very rough for T1. And then one day, Keria came and talked to me. Well, let's just make it to the playoffs and we'll see. And then we made it to the playoffs, and he was like, let's just make it to the road show. You know, let's just go to Gyeongju, the host city of LCK finals. And then we made it to the road show. And then he was like, let's just make it to the finals. We kept on adjusting our goals, and somehow we were able to make it up so far up here, and we accomplished it.
Amazing. Gumayusi, congratulations on another world title. Now, Guma, Ruler, Uzi, Bang, Deft, all names that have so much meaning in our scene that I think you should be named in the same sentence as. Where do you see yourself amongst these heroes of the role you play with what you have achieved?
또 하나의 월드 챔피언십 우승 타이틀을 얻게 되신 것 정말 축하드립니다. 위대한 원거리 딜러 선수들을 돌이켜봤을 때 항상 거론되는 우지 선수, 룰러 선수, 뱅 선수, 데프트 선수가 있는데요. 이제 오늘의 우승과 함께 더불어 이제 구마유시 선수도 그들과 어깨를 나란히 할 수 있다고 생각합니다. 구마유시 선수 개인적으로 이런 위대한 선수들, 전설적인 선수들과 견주어 봤을 때 본인이 어느 정도까지 올라왔다고 생각하시나요?
일단은 작년에 이어서 하나님께 감사와 영광 먼저 돌리고요. 지금은 그 역대 그 최고의 선수들과 아직 비슷하다고도 말할 수 있겠지만 아직 모자랄 수 있다고 생각하고요. 하지만 제가 데뷔하기 이전부터 제 목표는 역대 최고의 원딜이 되는 거였기 때문에 언젠가 반드시 정상에 서겠습니다.
First of all, just like I said last year, I want to thank God, thank to my God that I was able to accomplish this great result one more time. Also, adding on to the question, yeah, I can say that I am now on the similar level compared to those legendary AD carries, but also I can say that I still have a long way to go. But just looking back at the days when I was dreaming about debuting a pro scene, my one and only goal was becoming the goated AD carry, so I'm going to keep on going.
And of course, we have to ask Guma, because of the croissant last week and now spending a week in England, how have you been enjoying the cuisine here in London?
그리고 지난주에는 파리에서 멋진 크로아상과 함께 파리의 여정을 마무리하셨는데 이제 런던에서 일주일 머무르셨잖아요. 런던에서 미식 생활은 좀 즐길 수 있었나요?
It's good.
Do you need to translate that? I don't think so. Okay, now, while you are, of course, all champions, it is now time to acknowledge the contribution of one player in particular, our Oppo Finals MVP. To present the award, please welcome Lord to the stage.
Thank you so much, Shox. 송이 축하드립니다. Congratulations on winning Worlds yet again, and congratulations on an amazing season from you. London, once again for T1, please. Based on votes cast by a panel of experts, each representing the regions competing at Worlds this year, your 2024 Oppo MVP is... Faker!
왜 이렇게 멋있게 생겼냐?
Faker, congratulations on a second MVP trophy. The first one was in 2016. You're the first player to achieve this. When you think of 2016, how much of a different player are you today?
다시 한번 이렇게 결승전 MVP에 선정되신 것 축하드립니다. 16년도 이후로 두 번째인데요. 또 이렇게 두 번째 FMVP 수상하는 선수는 페이커 선수가 처음입니다. 16년도에 본인을 돌이켜 봤을 때 선수로서 얼마나 달라지셨다고 생각하시나요?
네. 네, 16년도 때 뭐 MVP 받은 게 잘 기억이 안 나가지고 정확히 뭐 신경을 안 쓰고 있었는데 이번에도 사실 MVP는 별로 신경 안 썼었는데 이렇게 또 받게 되니까 되게 감사한 것 같고 그때나 지금이나 저는 뭐 좋은 팀원들이 잘 해줬기 때문에 이런 결과가 따라오는 거라고 생각해서 중요한 거는 저는 우승했다는 게 가장 기쁜 것 같습니다. 네.
I actually could not remember that I won FMVP back in 2016. It was very vague in my memory, but same for today because I was not paying too much attention about, winning the finals MVP. What matters to me the most is just winning the finals, and I'm very happy. Well, comparing the 2016 myself and me right now, I don't see a big difference because still I am surrounded by a wonderful teammate, and I was able to accomplish this great result all together with my team, and that is exactly the same back then.
I know that you don't care about milestones. I know that you don't care about breaking records. So 11 years in, after everything you achieved, what is your motivation? What do you fight for?
또 페이커 선수는 사실은 기록도 나에게 크게 중요하지 않다. 업적을 쌓는 것 크게 중요하지 않다. 승리하는 것이 가장 중요하다라고 언제나 말씀해 주신 선수인데 이 오랜 세월 동안 활동하시면서 또 한 번의 우승, 또 한 번의 FMVP 수상을 하셨는데 여전히 본인에게 가장 큰 동기부여나 동력은 무엇인가요?
일단 뭐 가장 큰 동기부여는 저는 이제 팬분들이 또 저를 보고 또 긍정적인 에너지를 많이 얻어 가셨으면 하는 마음이 항상 큰 것 같고요. 그래서 계속해서 열심히 준비하고 스스로 굉장히 의미 있다고 생각하는 결과를 만들 수 있는 것 같습니다.
My biggest motivation is my fans because I believe spreading positive energy and influence to my fans is the most important thing to me, and it means a lot to kind of realize that you guys are actually getting a great influence from me, so that's my always biggest goal.
Now, last question that I have for you. 11 years ago, you were winning your first world title. When you think about the person you were back then, if you were to send a message to this young boy who was about to win his very first world championship, now that you have 5 stars on your jersey, what would you tell yourself?
11년 전 13년도에 첫 월즈 우승을 하셨고 정말 또 오랜 세월이 지나서 다시 이 자리에 와서 또 한 번의 우승을 이루어내셨습니다. 그 시절에 어린 소년 페이커 선수가 막 월즈 우승을 하려고 했을 때를 지금 바라볼 수 있다면 어떤 감정이 들 것 같으신지 이제는 정말 엄청난 경력을 쌓으셨고 5번째 별을 유니폼에 달 수 있게 되었습니다. 그 어린 페이커 선수에게 하고 싶은 말씀이 있을까요?
뭐 즐기라고 하고 싶습니다.
Go ahead and have fun.
Congratulations yet again, Faker. Congratulations to T1 London. One more time, please.
Now, before our champions lift the trophy one more time, I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge all of those who made Worlds 2024 the incredible event we've lived and breathed over the last 6 weeks.
The 20 teams who traveled from every corner of the globe, their support staff, their families, their friends, all of you guys, the host regions we had, Germany, France, the UK, all of the teams we have competing all around the world all year long. Our tireless effort, the support team, our production, the event teams we have, thank you to all of you.
And of course, last but most importantly, the millions of League of Legends players and fans around the world whose love, dedication, and passion for this game has built this community over the past 15 years. Thank you so much from all of us. GG, well played. We love you. And now, one last roaring time for T1 as they lift the trophy again as your 2024 League of Legends World Champions.